Hi all, this is Mr. Southerton. I'm going to make a tutorial to show you how to make a dragster for TSA. I'm in Onshape. It's just onshape.com. You can create a student account for free. You have to have the school's website address, mifflinburg.org. I think they'll send you a confirmation email, but you should be able to get this pulled up and running. I'm going to go ahead and create and create a document. Create a document. Okay, so maybe I'll just call it dragster drawing. Maybe put my name and the year, something like that. I'll click create, and I should get a workspace that looks something like this. So this is a 3D modeling program. There are different planes on which you can sketch. I'm just going to go ahead and start a sketch. You always start things as a sketch. And it's asking me to select a plane on which to sketch. I think I'm just going to start on the front plane. Okay. Okay, so for some reason, why is it not letting me select the front plane? Actually, well, I guess it's on the front plane. I expected it to look orange. See how when I put it over these, it becomes orange. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the line tool. And let's say I want to draw a line here on this plane. Now it's a little awkward. I'm going to hit escape to get out of this. It's a little awkward looking at this angle, so I'm going to right click and go to view normal to sketch plane. Now I'm right at the front. I might just start right here on the origin, but I'm going to go to my line here, and maybe I'll start by drawing the bottom of a dragster. First I want to make sure my units are in millimeters. In TSA you're supposed to have the units in millimeters, so I'm going to go to here, go to workspace units, change this from inches to millimeters. I don't think I needed to show 3 decimals for millimeters. Alright, so now I'm in millimeters. Of course, make sure you look at the TSA rules. I have those pulled up here, I believe. So it tells you how long the car can be. So in 2026, between 280 and 290, maybe I'll pick a number in the middle, 285, something like that. So I'm going to sketch a line. Maybe I'll start from the origin. I'm not sure why that's not selecting. Oh, I need to sketch a plane, so I'm going to sketch. Here we go. Oops. So it looks like I started a second sketch. See how it says sketch 1, sketch 2? I'm going to close out of this. I don't want to start a second sketch. I want to go back to sketch 1. I'm going to right click, go to edit. Now I'm back here where I was before. So line tool on sketch 1. I think I was going to make that 285 millimeters. I'm just going to click. You'll notice when I click, a box pops up here, and I can just type 285 and hit enter. And now that is 285 millimeters. Maybe I want to go from here and draw a line up. I'm just going to hit escape, go back to my line tool, click right here, and draw a line up. And I can click, and let's say, oh, maybe I want that 50. I'm going to type 50 and hit enter. To undo, you can do Control Z. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. Another way to do this is draw a line, click, maybe I'll hit escape, and if I want to change this after the fact, I can go to my dimension thing. I can click on that and drag out to the left, and now again I want to make that maybe 50. Again, it's up to you how tall to make that. Well, actually I'll show you how I came up with 50. Do you see the dragster body blank? I want it to be a little bit above this hole. So if I measure how far it is from the bottom of the car to the top of that hole, it looks like 42. So I would have to go up a little bit more than 42, which is how I came up with 50. I like this tool here. I can just kind of click, 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 maybe do something like this and click down there. That looks like a pretty cool design. I have to get out of this, so I hit escape. And now I have a plane. I'm going to go ahead and put some axle holes on here. By the way, I don't like how this is up in the car. I'm going to go back to my dimension thing and click on this and just drag it. Let's see. Drag it down. Now I'm going to go to the circle tool. I'm going to start by just clicking and dragging circles for the axle holes. I'm going to go back to the rules here. Oops. Where are the rules? Okay. It says, I don't think it tells you the axle hole diameter to use. But I usually use an 11/64 inch drill bit, which rounds to 4 millimeters. So I'm going to go to the dimension tool, click on this, and I type 4. Well, I click, then hit 4 and hit enter. So now that's 4 millimeters. I'll do the same thing here. Click, 4, enter. I think the rules say the bottom, let's see, where are the axle holes? Okay, the bottom of the axle hole are bearing above the bottom of the car. Okay? So between 5 and 10. I'm going to dimension from the middle. You kind of have to do the middle, I think. I'm going to dimension from the middle of the axle hole to the bottom. So click and click. And I'm going to make that 10. And what that'll make, since it's 4 millimeters in diameter from the bottom of the axle hole to the bottom of the car, will be 8, which is well within those required limitations, those requirements. So now that's 8. Maybe I'll make this 8. Get dimension from the center of the axle to the bottom of the car. Oops, let's try that again. So dimension, click on the center of the axle, click on the bottom of the car. There we go. I'm going to make that 8. Actually, I was going to make that 10. Then enter. Well, you know what? I meant to make that 10. So I'm going to go back here, get dimension, click on this. Try that again. Dimension. I just double clicked on that. That worked. So 10 millimeters. Enter. There we go. Alright. I want to make this a 3D object. Right now, by the way, you can kind of navigate up here by clicking on these things. You can see it's like a two-dimensional surface. There are some keyboard commands that might be worth getting familiar with. If I click on here and go to keyboard shortcuts, you can learn a lot of keyboard shortcuts. I encourage you to look at those. I'm going to hit Shift 1, and that takes me to a front view here. So I want to extrude that. I'm actually going to click on the corner here, but I'm going to go to the Extrude button, and you'll see all of a sudden it's looking 3D. I want to be adding material here, so I'm going to go to Add. And the depth of the block of wood here, from one side of the block of the wood to the other, I believe is 42 millimeters, which is the same as the maximum for the width of the car, I believe. Let's see. Dragster body, length, body width at the point the axles pass through. 35 to 42. That will do. I'm going to change this to 42 millimeters. Hit enter. And now I have an object. There's a hole in the back of these things. We have to draw that hole. So I'm going to go to... Actually, I guess I'm done. I like that. I'm going to click the check mark. Uh-oh, what'd I do? I don't know what I did. I'm just going to hit Control-Z. That's undo. I don't like that. Maybe I'll just click redo. 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 Uh-oh. Undo. Undo. Ah! I don't like this. I'm not sure what just happened. Okay, let's just try this again. Extrude. We're going to click on that. I'm going to add material, 42 millimeters. I hit enter. And I'm just going to try clicking someplace. I'm not sure. I feel like I should be able to click that check mark, but I'm afraid to because it disappeared last time. I'm kind of new to this program myself, by the way. Let's just try this. Okay, I'm going to click the check mark and see what happens. And I don't know why that disappeared. It says extrude 1 did not generate properly, no merge scope selected. I don't even know what that means. Let's try that again. I'm going to go back to the sketch. See how that was an eyeball that's covering that up? The sketch is disappearing because for some reason it's the eyeball's on. So I'm going to turn that sketch back on. I'm going to go back to extrude. I'm going to try, okay, I double clicked. I think that's probably, I'm going to close out of this. If I right click and go to edit, okay, we have the same thing. I'm just going to go to new. Oh, I think I'm not adding to something that already exists. I'm actually creating just a new thing altogether. So I think it's supposed to be on new. Now I'll click the check mark. There we go. That works. Sorry about that, folks. All right, next I want to do the power plant hole. I'm going to click on the back here. I'm going to right click, click view normal to. That means you're looking right at the surface. I'm going to draw a circle. We're going to start a new sketch on this surface. Notice they're calling this sketch 2. I'm going to go to the circle. I'm going to go here. See how if I go over here it snaps to the middle? That's a good thing. And now if I move this down, see that dotted line? That's a good thing too. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this. The diameter of that power plant hole is 19 millimeters. I'm going to put 19 and hit enter. And if I measure on the block of wood how far the bottom of that is from the bottom of the object, I'm just measuring it here. It looks like it's 24 millimeters. So I'm going to go to the dimension tool, click on the bottom of the object, bottom of the car. I want that to be 24. I'll hit enter. Okay. And now we're going to extrude that inward to make a hole. So I'm going to go to extrude again. Actually, I guess I'll do check mark. Like that. Now I'm going to extrude. I'm going to click on the hole. And see, it looks like it's adding something. We want to remove material. So it's on add. We're going to go to remove, which makes it go inside the object. That hole, I believe, is 50 millimeters deep. You'll want to measure yours to make sure. I'll click the check mark. Okay, now there is a hole there. Okay, by the way, if I click and hold my right mouse wheel, I can kind of pan around this nicely. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this onto a paper. I'm going to go to the plus here. We're going to go to create a drawing. You're going to look at the templates, and I already have one up, but you want the ANSI-B millimeters. That's ANSI-B. That's basically 11 by 17 paper, which I think if you read the rules here, it tells you the drawing needs to be on 11 by 17 paper. Again, that's ANSI-B. ANSI-B millimeters. I'm going to click OK. And it's generating the drawing. So basically there's like a piece of paper. I'm going to select this part. And right there is kind of where the view is. It looks pretty small. That's because the view scale is 1:3. I want this to be full scale, 1:1. I want it to appear the same size it actually is. There's my front view. And if I just kind of go to the top, it automatically knows that I want to show the top view. There's my top view now. I like to see hidden lines, so I'm going to right click on this Actually, I'm going to hit escape. Right click, show hide. I want to show the hidden lines. There's the hidden lines for the power plant hole and the axle holes. I'm going to do the same thing here. Show hide hidden lines. The judges will probably want you to dimension some of this stuff. So maybe I'll dimension, I don't know how far this is from the bottom. Maybe I'll dimension how far that is from the back. Guess I never said what that's going to be. I guess it just is what it is. Maybe I'll say what that is. Oh my, what else should I show? Maybe I'll show how tall that is there. Maybe I'll show let's see, dimension. Maybe I'll show how wide that is. Basically all the measurements that the judges might want to know. Oops, that snaps there. Let me drag that down a little bit. Come on. Let's try this again. Dimension. Why is that not letting me drag that down further? I'm going to hit Control Z to undo. I'm going to move this thing up a little bit if I can. Okay. Now I'm going to dimension this. There we go. I like that. Maybe I'll show how deep this thing is. Again, that's something that the judges might want to know. I might show how wide that thing is. Oops. Just clicking on that line. I'm going to hit escape to get off that dot. I want to select the whole line and drag that out. Okay. Maybe I'll give it a title. I'll double click here. Maybe put, in the drafting tradition, people usually write in all capital letters. Maybe I'll do that. Again, as much of this as you can fill out, you're not allowed to have your name in a TSA event. So maybe I'd put 1019 dash and whatever your number is, you could put that. But anyways, eventually then, when your drawing's done, you can go to, let's see here, we want to print this. I don't think you can print it as a student. So I think what you have to do is go to print. From the teacher computer, I can print this. And I'm not sure if you as students can print this, but when you go to print, you're probably going to be given the option of printing it as a PDF. I don't know why they call that printing, but basically it saves it as a PDF. Let's see, where is it? Looks like it's saved it under downloads. Maybe it's right here. Is this it? Anyways, wherever it downloaded to. Anyways, when you found whatever you downloaded, you can email me the PDF file and I can print it for you. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching.